I'm Trev Neve. My wife and I have been members of the Foggy Bottom West End Village for about 5 or 6 years now. So how do we find community in the village? Well, we agree that in the first year of membership, we met more people in this neighborhood than we had in the previous 20 years that we've lived here. And that's not surprising with so much the village has to offer. We have our museum and gallery tours, book clubs, movie clubs. We have monthly lunches, weekly coffees. We have dance classes and wellness classes. It's difficult not to find something that doesn't engage you. I think one of our favorite things is now that when we walk the neighborhood, we invariably see somebody that we know. So yes, we found community in the village, and it turned out to be not that hard.
Hello, these are a few members of the Kingdom Care Senior Village, Miss Deborah Royal, Doris Williams, and Miss Patricia Pat Carroll. Ladies, tell us what you like most about the village and how has the village supported you. Miss Deborah?
The thing I like most about the village is that Miss Mary Moses and Mr. Stella Moses, they keep us physically busy. We do a lot of work on the phone. We do Zoom. We have prayer buddies, and we all stay in contact with each other.
Miss Doris?
What I like about the village is that we do activities, we do games, we have fellowship with one another, we call and check on one another. We have a team that they always calling us, make sure that we have what we need. Sometimes we may need water, sometimes we may need food, or whatever. We have the team to call us and check on us about what we need.
And Miss Pat?
What I like about the Kingdom Care Senior Village is the diversity of the activities, the inclusion of all members, the constant and frequent contact, and anything that we need. They have helped to make me much smarter by the activities, the inclusion of an iTablet. So I'm coming into the 21st century. I do not feel any loneliness. They really keep me involved, and I really enjoy their efforts.
Great.
That's about it.
Hi, I'm Abigail Webenson, and I'm a founding member of Dupont Circle Village. The village has been an anchor and a safe harbor during the pandemic. I serve on the Membership and Activities Committee, and from the get-go, we address concerns about people feeling frightened and isolated by immediately putting a phone tree in action. I've also loved being a meal maven, a team that provides weekly meals to 8 members who need extra attention. Zoom has been a lifesaver for maintaining my yoga and meditation groups, both underwritten by the village. I also happily participate in the knitting group and exercise class, ways that keep me healthy emotionally and physically. Ava, our executive director, and I successfully hosted Zoom sessions to inform prospective members of our village what our village offers even in pandemic times. Our listserv helps to instantly provide answers or suggestions as well as urge participation to upcoming events. All in all, this pandemic has been a rich community building time that provided soothing comfort for the frightening aspects of this virus. Thank you.
I'm Jim Goodby. I've been a member of the Palisades since at least 15 years ago, first as an associate member, myself and my wife Priscilla, and more recently as a benefactor member, I guess. Anyway, I have benefited greatly from my membership, largely because as I've aged, I have to take some treatment for macular degeneration, which means having an injection in the eyeball. Not much fun. And when I finish with that procedure, I don't see very well. So I've been lucky in having volunteers from Palisades Village who have come to my rescue and have driven me to my eye doctor and back whenever I needed it, which is fairly often. And along the way, we've had wonderful conversations. I have to say that I've enjoyed those rides as much as anything I do these days. I also have benefited a lot from being able to occasionally give talks about my writings. I do write books nowadays, so I recommend it to anyone. It's a great support. It really does enable me to age in place.
Hello, my name is Paula Blair, and I'm a member of the East Rock Creek Village community. This unique gathering of people who live in Upper Northwest DC has gained such momentum in my heart because we've spent a lot of time being together, playing together via Zoom, lamenting what we've lost and missed throughout the pandemic, but most importantly, sharing our joys, which were few for a while, more as the spring has progressed. We share jazz and interest in travel, updates on grandchildren and children, updates on what's growing in our gardens, but most importantly, knowing the reassuring smiles of those who are in leadership as they greet us, bring us great information, and make sure others in our community who can't move around have access to groceries and prescriptions and rides to places that are very important to them. Connectedness is community, and that means love. I love East Rock Creek Village. Thank you.
Little did I know when I signed up my interest in finding out more about Northwest Neighbors Village one Saturday morning at the New Morning Farm Truck, how wonderful a community I was about to get involved in. I was a volunteer for, several years, and met some wonderful people who've become close friends. And recently when I had surgery, instead of being a volunteer, I was able to accept services like transportation to physical therapy for, I think at least a month. And it's been just a wonderful community of people to get to know and to help each other.
Hello, my name is Martha Williams, and I am a member of the Georgetown Village group. I joined the village because Gail Wertheimer and Lynn Gottlieb came to the building where I live to tell about the village at a time when I was thinking about retiring and thinking, what am I going to do with my time when I'm finished, when I'm no longer working? I was a realtor and it was a 7/24 job. But I'm at that point was approaching my 80th birthday and was thinking, all right, what would I do if I weren't working all the time? That was 4 years ago. I've been delighted with the village, and it has proved invaluable during the COVID because it connected me online with all kinds of things that I never knew existed. Also, I depended upon the village for reliable information, reliable updates on their weekly COVID updates. I couldn't live without it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Linda Mahler.
I am Nancy Morgan.
And we've been members of the Cleveland Woodley Park Village for 8 years.
And we love it.
What I love most about the village is the feeling of support that I have, knowing that the volunteers are there and that we are truly part of a community of people who care for one another.
What I love about the village is the volunteers. One volunteer in particular we're very good friends with, and she is very special to us. But it's really all of the volunteers. People have picked me up at the airport. They've taken me to the doctor. I've gotten a few rides to work occasionally. And it's like everyone is polite and courteous, but it's like they really mean it. They really want to be with us. And I just really love that. It feels wonderful being a part of that and feeling that you're cared for. And they're always there in the background. I know if I really need somebody, they're there. And, well, I don't know what else to say.
I trust the village will be around for a very long time.
Thank you.
Candice Bryant from the Waterfront Village. I first became familiar with the village concept when I was working as a head of a foundation. And when the one got started here in Southwest, I wanted to be a provider to help out. I knew what it was designed to do, and I wanted to be a supporter of that effort. So I signed up to become an associate member and was scheduled for training to become a volunteer driver when the week before my driver training was scheduled, I had a stroke. So instead of my becoming a supporter, I became a consumer of services from the Waterfront Village. So all of those, as a single woman living alone, I mean, I had home health care live-in for about 3 or 4 months, but after that, I was basically on my own. And the village enabled me to do that and to survive and thrive, I think. So I encourage anyone who's thinking about it to take advantage of the resources. And if you're not yet in that position, be helpful to those who are in need. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. I'm part of Capitol Hill Village, and I just don't know what I would have done without the village during the pandemic. But there are a few people that I want to say thank you to, and Cynthia Whittlesley is one person who drove me to Hospital Center at 6 o'clock in the morning where I had some procedures. And so that's why I had to be so early. And then exactly 8 weeks after that, Buck Waller drove me to Washington Hospital Center. I cheated a little bit. I realized I didn't have to be there at 6:30. I got there at 7. He picked me up at 6:30. And then I wanted to say that you guys fed me on Thanksgiving, and that was very helpful. Someone brought a dinner, but Cynthia again called me on the phone to alert me to the dinner. And Sarah Jackson calls me once a week to see if I'm doing okay. And we talk. She used to call every day, but I said, no. Once a week is enough because I call Cynthia Whittlesley every morning to let her know that I'm okay. And so far, I have been okay. I have talked with the executive director in an online conference she had with everyone. And then I don't remember the name of the game, but I was online with several people and we did a game and we liked it so much we're going to meet again and I can't think of the name of it. So I hope I haven't left anybody out. The people have been wonderful. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Larry Rickards. I'm a member of the Mount Pleasant Village here in D.C. I'm a member of the board of directors, so I have 12 other colleagues who I work very closely with, and they're a great bunch to work with. I also participate in a variety of volunteer activities through the village. And I participate in village programs. So all of those things have me engaged and interacting with other people amongst the village. And that's been one of the things I've enjoyed a great deal about my village membership over these past 7 years. One of the things in addition, I think I meet a lot of very interesting people through the village. And we have a lot of very well-planned programs that bring us together and give us a sense to meet one another and help establish a broader sense of community. One of the important things that we've done during the pandemic is to partner with our local neighborhood advisory commission to create Neighbors Helping Neighbors, to help provide services and other kinds of support to both village and non-village members here in Mount Pleasant. And I've been very much involved in coordinating the activities for the food aid program. And we've also been very active in helping get particularly the Latino community who didn't receive very good information early on, helped get them registered for vaccinations. And that's been, I think, one of the really positive activities of the village during the pandemic. And we work, because of our engagement with the Neighbors Helping Neighbors, we engage in a broad spectrum of people across our community, not only village members, but through the volunteer activity, being involved with a very much younger population who have been primarily our volunteers. And all of that has been just extraordinarily positive. And I feel like I'm engaged in doing something useful during this very trying time for all of us.
Hello, my name is Gloria Kreisman. I'm a member of Palisades Village and have been for many years, in good times and in bad. In good times, before the pandemic, Palisades Village was mostly a social place for me. Wonderful parties, wonderful people, lovely events, lots of good food. It was great fun. Then came the pandemic, and as you know, things changed dramatically. But it has been a lifeline since then. I don't know how I could have managed without it. Just before the pandemic, I moved from a house I had lived in for many, many years to an apartment. And so I was facing a pandemic in a new place without my old friends, without my old connections, but I still had Palisades Village. And that meant that they arranged for one of the members to call me every day to make sure I was all right, 7 days a week. And that friend, through those phone calls, those daily phone calls, has now become a dear friend. They also arranged for weekly deliveries to my doorstep of wonderful soups made by our panhandlers, headed by Bob Bordeaux-Tui, accompanied by delicious cookies and brownies, and that was wonderful. I look forward to going back to the good times, but I thank them from the bottom of my heart